I'm Christina Dodkin, a radiation protection specialist with the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission in Canada. I will be presenting the first results of the Nuclear Energy Agency's Committee on Radiological Protection and Public Health's expert group on the dose limit for the lens of the eye, of which I am the chair. The expert group is examining the practical experiences of regulators and stakeholders worldwide for implementing the ICRP's recommended equivalent dose limit for the lens of the eye for occupational exposures. First, some words on the Nuclear Energy Agency, or the NEA. The NEA is a framework for technical and policy cooperation in nuclear safety, stakeholder engagement, science, technology, economics, nuclear law, nuclear codes and data, waste management, decommissioning, legacy management, and radiological protection. The NEA consists of 33 member countries and strategic partners, with 8 high-level standing technical committees and over 80 working parties and expert groups, and 24 international joint projects. The NEA established the Committee on Radiological Protection and Public Health. This committee is one of the 8 standing technical committees of the NEA. The goal of the committee is to assist member countries in identifying critical and emerging issues in radiological protection, analyzing their possible implications for practices and regulation, and contributing to the development of approaches for their resolution. The committee provides its members with a high-level, visible forum for exchanging and discussing radiological protection. The committee seeks common understanding of these issues, advances the state-of-the-art in radiological protection theory and practice, advances concepts to better adapt radiological protection to broader social dimensions, promotes international collaboration and cooperative projects in radiological protection, and helps ensure the management of radiological protection knowledge and experience between generations. The Committee on Radiological Protection and Public Health created the expert group on the dose limit for the lens of the eye in March 2019. The expert group is chaired by myself, Christina Dodkin, with Vice Chair Marie-Claire Cantoni from Italy, and support from the NEA Secretariat, Jacqueline Garnier-Laplace. NEA member countries representing the expert group include the United States, Japan, Ireland, France, Germany, Spain, Argentina, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. The main objective of the expert group is to provide an opportunity for regulators and stakeholders to share lessons learned, both successes and challenges, in the practical implementation of the International Commission on Radiological Protection's recommended equivalent dose limit for the lens of the eye for occupational exposures. The mandate and deliverables of the expert group include a report which will summarize the practical experiences of regulators and stakeholders worldwide for implementing the ICRP's recommended equivalent dose limit for the lens of the eye for occupational exposure, including successes and challenges to the approaches. A network will also be established to maintain dialogue and information exchange. The mandate of the expert group was approved to April 2022. To facilitate the development of the report, a survey was sent to NEA member countries targeting regulators of nuclear and non-nuclear applications. The survey included the current status of regulatory dose limits for the lens of the eye in the countries, successes in stakeholder engagement, including the approaches taken by regulators to ensure positive interactions with stakeholders, accreditation and approval processes for lens of the eye dosimetry, and any challenges with the practical implementation of new dose limits and the actions taken to address these challenges. The official survey launched in March of 2020 and closed in July of 2020. The expert group received 15 responses, representing approximately 55% of NEA country membership. The expert group is currently analyzing the survey responses and drafting the report. Early findings include the majority of surveyed countries have revised their legislation in line with the ICRP recommendations, with some countries pursuing a more restrictive lens of the eye dose limit of 20 millisieverts per year, while another country adopting a single dose limit of 50 millisieverts per year. Stakeholder engagement has occurred by all countries surveyed, and the level of engagement varied from publications to workshops, technical meetings, and webinars. Implementation challenges with respect to new lens of the eye dose limits are similar amongst the countries and include costs, and this is costs to enhance radiation protection programs, personal protective equipment and instrumentation. Availability of dosimetry is a challenge, including the lack of accreditation and technical requirements in some countries. Ergonomics remains a challenge, and this includes consistent placement of dosimetry and use of personal protective equipment. Compliance issues include ensuring dosimeters are worn and worn correctly, as well as training and education. And finally, there is a need for consistent guidance expressed by member countries, such as standardizing dosimeter placement and use of correction factors. The draft report will be presented at the 79th annual meeting of the Committee on Radiological Protection and Public Health in April 2021. Publication of the report is expected by the end of 2021, and it will be made available to NEA member countries. The expert group continues to work on identifying opportunities for a network to maintain dialogue and information exchange. We may leverage existing networks to facilitate these opportunities, and this will be elaborated on in the expert group's report. This concludes my presentation, and I would like to thank all members of the expert group listed on this slide. Thank you.